Good morning, students. Today we are going to take up a poem which is named as Your World, which is written by Georgia Douglas Johnson. Now, let us begin some summary of this poem. Let me give you some idea of this poem. This poem describes the journey of a person recognizing his or her potential in the world. Using a bird in flight as a metaphor to represent a person flying free from the limitations that would keep him from reaching his or her fullest potential. The poet gets a kind of self discovery and discovers her new potentials and abilities which she never thought were possible before. In this journey of self realization, the poet compares herself to a bird whose wings were at first pressed closely to her sides, which describes a state which was conditioned by norms of society or circumstances like home environment, which made her hesitant or inferiority complexed. But she soon realizes that there is an exciting world of endless possibilities. This is the stage of self realization and goal setting. There is a burning desire to fulfill her dreams. This instills confidence and she begins shattering all those walls of confines that delimits or restricts her to explore worlds beyond that she already knows. Surprisingly, she finds it very easy and finds herself full of power and happiness. So, through her own experience, the poet inspires everyone to be brave and come out of their comfort zones to discover the new and true meaning of life. So, before we begin with the explanation of the poem, let us give a reading to the poem. Children, I hope you have your book with you. So, just listen to the poem. Your world is as big as you make it. I know, for I used to abide in the narrowest nest in a corner, my wings pressing close to my side. But I sighted the distant horizon, where the skyline encircled the sea, and I throbbed with a burning desire to travel this immensity. I battered the cordons around me and cradled my wings on the breeze, then soared to the uttermost reaches, with rapture, with power, with ease. So, this beautiful poem written by Georgia Douglas Johnson. Now, let us start with the explanation. We'll start with the first paragraph. The first line says, Your world is as big as you make it. Now, here the word world refers to life. Okay, your life. Your world means your life is as big as you make it. That means we are actually responsible for what we make of our lives. It is up to us what we make of our lives. That means we are in charge of our lives. If we work hard, if we struggle, if we go beyond our comfort zone, then we can make our life big. Otherwise, our life will remain as it is given to us, like presently. So, in the present situation, we will not improve. So, the poet says, Your life is as big as you make it. That means if we try hard, we can make or we can improve our life from the present situation and make it big and large. So the second line, I know, for I used to abide in the narrowest nest in a corner. So the poet says that she knows this from her personal experience because she says I know, so that means it shows that she is telling her personal experience. So she says, I know this from my personal experience. I used to abide in the narrowest nest in a corner. So she says that she lived in by the social code of behavior imposed on her by the society or the community or the family. So here the phrase narrowest nest in a corner, it refers to the confines of the four wall or the confines of the restrictions of the society, or we can say narrowest nest in a corner refers to the restrictions which were imposed on her by the society or the community. So the second line says that she tells us from her own experience because she had kept her life like that, because she followed the norms of the society. The society did not let her go out, or the society had confined her to the four walls, and they had put some limits on her, and she lived her life in those limits. So, my wings pressing close to my side. So she says, like here in the line, my wings, the word wings refers to the abilities, the potential, her capabilities. Okay, so she says, I kept my wings close to my side means I kept my abilities, I kept my potential close to my side. That means she did not use her potential, she did not use her abilities to her maximum. So here she is comparing herself to a bird which has kept her wings to her side. That means which is not trying to fly, which is just limiting her to one place. So she says that in my wings close to my side means I did not use my abilities or my capabilities, and I just kept living according to the norms of the society, or the limits which the society had imposed on her. So she says that I kept my abilities because of the fear of the society. So she wants to say that she knew that she had abilities and capabilities and potential, but she kept them unused. She did not use them because of the fear of the society, because of the social prejudices which kept her from pursuing the life she wanted. So it means that she had abilities, but because of the fear of society, she kept them hidden. So this completes the first paragraph. Now we move on to the next paragraph, which says, but I sighted the distant horizon. So then she could see, that means she saw the place where she could reach using her abilities, or she was able to see, or she was able to imagine maybe from somebody else's experience, or she saw somebody else doing or reaching that place, so she could see the place where she could reach using her abilities. It up I sighted the distant horizon. Now distant horizon means that place seemed to be very far off, or maybe we can say it did not seem very easy to her in the beginning. So she could see the place where she could reach using her abilities, and it appeared far off like a distant horizon, which is very, very difficult to reach, almost impossible, we can say, in the scenario in which she was living. So it was almost like reaching to the skies. So the place she saw, or she could see the place where she wanted to reach, and in the beginning it seemed very, very far off, just like reaching a horizon where the skyline encircled the sea. So horizon is the place where it seems that the skyline is meeting the sea. So she says that she could see the place where she wanted to reach, and in the beginning in the present scenario where she was living, that place seemed to be very, very difficult to reach. It almost seemed to her like reaching out to the sky. Now we come to the next line, and I throbbed with a burning desire to travel this immensity. So gradually she started living with this desire. A wish started burning inside her. And she started living with that desire. And that, what was that desire? That desire was to reach out to that aim, the goal which she could imagine or which she could see. She wanted to travel this immensity. Immensity word means which is very huge or which is very large. So the goal which she could imagine for herself, which she had a desire to reach, although in the beginning it seemed very, very huge and very large to achieve, it was not at all difficult for her, not at all easy for her to reach in the kind of situation in which she was living. So immensity, so she started nurturing a strong desire to break free from the bonds of the norms and the prejudices of the society, and reached out to the goal or the desire she had, although it was very huge. It was huge like an immensity, and it was very, very difficult to reach according to the circumstances in which she was living. So now we come to the next paragraph. I battered the cordons around me. The word battered means broke, and the cordons are the threads which were tying her, the norms of the society, we can say, the prejudices of the society, the bonds, the confines, the four walls. So she started breaking them. I battered the cordons around me. So she started making efforts to break the obstacles, the confinement, and the norms and the prejudices. And she started moving out of them. She started using her abilities to achieve her dreams. The dream which she had dreamt of to achieve, she started moving towards that. She started, now that it means that she started using her potential to reach her capabilities, to her maximum potential, then soared to the uttermost reaches. And then she says, as I started breaking those prejudices, those confinements, those cordons of the society which had bound her till now, so she started her journey, and she started moving out, and she started soaring high. Soaring means moving higher to the uttermost reaches, to the maximum highest reaches. So once she began her journey, she began her fight. She found that it was not that difficult, and once she was able to come out of those prejudices and those bonds, she found that the journey was not that difficult as it was appearing to her. Rather, she found it much easier. Why she found it easier now? Because now she was already out of those prejudices which were binding her till now. So she found that the abilities she already had, and now she was using those abilities and getting confident day by day. So then she was able to soar, to reach to the uttermost reaches, to the maximum. She used her potential to the maximum and reached the maximum of her career, and with rapture, with power, and with ease. And she got confident, she got happiness once she was able to break free from these prejudices, and once she started using those abilities, she started feeling powerful, and she found it was very easy, and she started getting confidence and happiness. So in a way, through this poem, the poet just wants to teach us or encourage us through her own experience. So in short, she says that till I was living in the confines of the society which the society had imposed on her, the prejudices that girls, they cannot come out, or they cannot do this or do that. Till she lived in that, she found everything was very, very difficult. And but once she nurtured a dream in her, she set a goal for her, and she just made one attempt, that first attempt which she had to make to break the confines of the society, that was difficult. After her first attempt, she found things were like, it was sailing, the sailing was very smooth for her, and she could easily reach the aim which she had set for her, with rapture, with power, and with ease. So we learn a lesson that uh, till we don't come out of our comfort zone, no, comfort zone is the area where we feel comfortable, that I can do this much only. So till we don't come out of that comfort zone, we will never be able to reach our maximum potential. So all of us, we've got lot of hidden potential in us, but the only thing is that we don't try to come out of the comfort zone and make an extra effort. For example, let us consider the present day situation. Now, all of us are studying online, no? We had never imagined we could do this, no? But uh, gradually in the beginning, it was difficult, even for the teachers, no? Teaching through this method was quite difficult. We, because that was our comfort zone, no? The school, going to school, teaching there in front of the students, that was our comfort zone. We got used to it. But once we had to adopt this method, in the beginning every one of us found it difficult, but gradually then we could easily adopt. We started using this method, we found it was easy, we got used to it, and now it is a smooth sailing. And same way for you people also, you found these things were not easy to adjust. In the beginning, you people might have faced many difficulties, but as we go through, as we are using it every day, so we've got used to it, and we can now, many of us and many of you might have learned new methods also, no? Of using technology and making new things. So it is very easy. The only thing is, we just have to come out of our comfort zone and try out new areas where we can show our mark. So always remember, use your potential. We've got a lot of potential. The only thing is, we are not just taking it out. We have kept it inside a box and it's locked, and we are not making an extra effort to come out of that comfort zone. So if you want to try and make your life big, it is in our hands. The only thing is, we have to try. Thank you. I hope you might have liked this poem, and you'll keep it in your mind that our life is in our hands, whether we make it simple or whether we make it large. Okay, so children, read this poem again and try to find out the question answers, then we'll discuss it in the next meeting. Thank you and have a nice day.